All right, let's just jump right into this, because what we're about to unpack is one of the wildest, most philosophically deep events I have ever come across. We're talking about how a single, hollowed-out turnip managed to break a cosmic bet over the entire meaning of existence. Yeah, it sounds completely absurd, and trust me, that's the whole point. So let's start with the question at the heart of it all. You've got Red Sonja, right? A legendary warrior living in this brutal, magic-soaked world of steel and sorcery. And someone just hands her a turnip. It's such a bizarre moment that it just makes you stop and ask, what in the world is actually going on here? And her first reaction is, exactly what you'd expect. It's this mix of confusion and straight-up insult. In the Hyborian Age, a turnip is peasant food. It's worthless. It has no power, no value. So for a warrior like her, this feels like a joke. But what she doesn't know yet is that this simple vegetable, it's the key to everything. To really get the turnip, we have to pull the camera back, way back, to the cosmic scale. Because this isn't just some weird gift. It's actually the final move in this massive, high-stakes wager about the very meaning of life itself. Okay, so meet the players making this bet. On one side, you have Cynos, the pale cynic. Just picture this half-man, half-jackal spirit who is the living embodiment of nihilism. He basically believes all of existence is a cosmic error. Then, on the other side, you've got Pan, the wild one, this chaotic blend of beast and angel who argues that the struggle of life is its own glorious purpose. So their whole conflict is this fundamental clash of worldviews. Cynos pushes his gospel of the void, saying life's a cruel joke, hope is a putrid stench, and the only true perfection is in the stillness of death. But Pan, he rejects every bit of that. To him, that stench of hope is the beautiful smell of life fighting to exist. The chaos, the fight, that's the whole point. And here's Cynos' philosophy boiled down to one chilling line. He honestly believes he's already won. He points to things that are perfectly preserved, totally still and lifeless, and says, see, creation is at its absolute best when it just stops trying. But Pan's response is just pure fire. He argues that life isn't about some cold, gray logic. No, it's about the messy, passionate, chaotic struggle to just be. That struggle isn't some flaw in the system. It's the entire reason the system exists. And to settle this epic debate, they needed a test case. Every great argument needs a piece of evidence, right? Something that can prove one side right. For this cosmic bet, Cynos and Pan needed a soul that didn't play by the normal rules of heaven or hell. They needed a wild card, a loophole. And they found their guy in Stingy Jack. He was this mortal trickster, a guy whose entire life was just a string of small, clever, but ultimately empty victories. But he was clever enough to trick the devil himself into promising that his soul would never be dragged down to hell. And that one little deal, it had a cosmic consequence nobody saw coming. So here's how he becomes this total cosmic anomaly. His life is hollow, he makes his deal, and when he dies, heaven wants nothing to do with his empty soul. But hell has to honor its promise and kicks him out too. He becomes unclaimed. And as this final, almost sarcastic gesture, the devil tosses him a single burning coal from hell. Jack takes it and puts it inside a hollowed-out turnip to light his way through the darkness. That turnip becomes the symbol of his new existence. This quote just perfectly nails his transformation. By winning his little game against heaven and hell, Jack doesn't become some kind of god. He becomes nothing. A ghost in the machine, a soul that exists in the cracks of reality. And it's that very nothingness that makes him the perfect test subject for a bet about the meaning of everything. Okay, so now we have all the pieces on the board. The cosmic bet between nothingness and struggle, with this unclaimed soul as the pawn. So now we can finally go back to that turnip and see why it's not just a vegetable, it's a philosophical bomb. This gift is so clever because it works on three completely different levels. First, it's a total mockery of value. In a game played by gods, he chooses a worthless turnip to ridicule their grand cosmic gestures. Second, it's an infusion of incredible power. This isn't just any old turnip. It's literally glowing with his own sovereign energy. And third, and this is the most important part, it's an act of grace, a simple thank you that completely defies what both players expected. So Jack transforms this totally mundane object into something new, a lantern seed. It holds the first spark of self-ignition, this green viridian flame that literally burns away concepts and rules. He's giving Sanja a tool that doesn't rely on gods or magic to work. It creates its own light in the void. And here is the absolute genius of this move. It puts both players in checkmate. For Cincinnatus, who preaches stillness and nothingness, this simple act of gratitude is a spark of that putrid hope he hates so much. It's a defiant act of connection. But it also baffles Pan. Pan was expecting some big chaotic grab for power, a Dionysian frenzy. Instead, Jack performs a quiet act of grace. He gives a gift instead of demanding payment. It's not about power, it's about being free from their entire game. As you can probably guess, an act that literally breaks the fundamental rules of a cosmic game is gonna send some serious shockwaves through reality. And it hits everyone involved, from the mortal warrior holding the turnip to the cosmic beings watching from above. So let's trace Red Sonja's reaction again. It starts with just practical disdain. This thing is useless. But then she feels it. That raw, untamed power crackling inside the viridian pandemonium flame. And then comes this deep, profound unease. See, she lives by a warrior's code of boons and debts. She owes Jack her life. But by giving her a gift instead of collecting on that debt, he just shatters her entire worldview. It's like a metaphysical glitch that she just can't compute.
Meanwhile, the Cosmic Watchers are absolutely stunned, but they're seeing two completely different things. Sinnos is just disgusted. To him, this is sentimental trash, a gross violation of the perfect, beautiful stillness he loves. But Pan is celebrating. He sees this as the ultimate victory. This, to him, is the true will to power. Not conquering others, but conquering the rules themselves. A soul that belongs nowhere just decided to create a new way to exist.
So, what's the final statement here? This isn't just a clever play. It's a declaration. Jack is telling them he is no longer playing their game. He's not Stingy Jack, the unclaimed pawn, anymore. He is Jack Sovereign. And there is a perfect analogy for this whole thing. Imagine two chess grandmasters playing a game for the highest stakes, and they're betting everything on whether one little pawn gets captured or promoted. But instead of doing either, the pawn just steps off the board, walks over to the other king, and hands him a flower. The game is broken, the rules are meaningless. Jack's gift is that flower. Ultimately, this is the profound truth that Jack's action reveals. By being unclaimed, by existing completely outside of every system of control, he found the ultimate freedom. He proved that a soul trapped between all the established options isn't doomed to be nothing. It's actually free to become absolutely anything, even a friend. And that is a truly mind-bending thought to leave you with.